What's up, y'all? Erebus here, and welcome back to some more DS3 PvP. Today, we're going to be going into the arena, because some people have told me they wanted to see it, so here we go. On my soul level 125, well, one of them, I've got two builds going here. So here's the first one. It's basically Revan's Dark build, which is available on Mugen Monkey. I just changed it since there's a bit more strength and less dex. I only lost about 2 AR on the Lothric sword. And with this amount of strength, I can also have the Dark Great Machete on my offhand. So that's that. I've also got the Saint's Talisman for casting Tears of Denial, and of course good old Llewellyn Shield. So this way I can, get some weird shenanigans going on with the nothing really true combos. Well, there's one or two I think, but very little true combos with the weird offhand setup, but I like using it sometimes. So I've also got a Dark Exile Greatsword and Dark Wooden Hammer on this build for funsies. Ignore the Door Shield. And I've got a Lothric Medium Shield for doing more turtling, because this character doesn't have a Black Knight Shield, and he's in the middle of a New Game Plus 7 cycle, so I can't exactly go farm for one at the moment. So there's that. There's the armor and the rings. With the armor, this character's name is Dark Fatty, so I wanted to make sure he had some nice fat armor. And everything else is just basically what I could wear with it. Got a couple offhand rings, or on reserve, if you will, just in case I need them. Some items. Dried Finger obviously won't be used in the arena. Had that from doing a Dried Finger run. And here's my other character, good old Jane. So she's probably my most meta build. She used to be a level 90 Invader build, but because she had my most meta setup, I went and brought her up to 125. She's a Dex build. I got the Human Pine Resin for buffing purposes. And other than that, got using the Sharp Lothric sword because it's outstanding, and Sharp Crow Quills, partially for that 120 critical. And also the Rapier moveset is a bit tricky to deal with sometimes. It's very fast and can interrupt Hyper Armor, and it's harder to parry than one might imagine. Definitely parryable, but it depends on the person. Also got a Sharp Cestus here for parrying. I don't use a shield with her for parries, because setup parries in the arena really aren't a thing unless you're fighting a total noob, so it's more being able to go with the Cestus and just go for prediction parries if you're going to go for a parry. So I've also got a Flamberge and a Stora Greatsword and the Pontiff Knight Curve Sword all in this build, and a Nuchi Katana and a Warpick. I don't use any of those for the most part. I just have them just in case I need them situationally. Also got a light crossbow, and the Avalon, because depending on what weapon I'm using, the Avalon creates some weight issues. I do have a Llewellyn Shield just in case, and also a Black Knight Shield for turtling, in case I want to go that way. So that's pretty much this build. I like it a lot. It's pretty much my favorite of the Dark Souls 3 builds that I have made, just FYI. So here's the armor setup. Basically just cool looking stuff and bit of poise. And the rings as well. So with that, we're going to get into some arena duels with both of these characters. Now, the first two actually are on the Dark Fatty character, and I did live commentary. So I'm going to actually bid adieu for just a minute or two, let the live commentary take over, and then when we come back to Jane, I'll be back for some post-commentary, because I didn't have my mic on when I was doing duels with her. So get a bit of a mix of live and post, because why not? But yeah, that's really about it. Also, if you want, you can freeze frame. There's a bunch of rings that I have on reserve that I use sometimes. Not often, but sometimes. Alright, let's get to the fights.
Alright, so we've got our first opponent here. Let's see if we get a bow. We do not. Alright, let's see what this guy's all about. Alright, he's not doing the typical meta thing of just running around and whatnot. He is being very passive, but that's alright. Okay, some poor timing on that parry there. And went for another parry. GG, buddy. Unfortunately for him, I saw that parry coming, given the last one. But yeah, GG. Alright, and second round here. Oh, it's the same chap. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and give this machete a try. I feel like I can get him trapped in here. And he does like going for parries. He could have parried me right there. That was a little obvious, sadly. Okay, and there he's expecting a big slow hit. Alright, backed out of that. Good job. I thought I was going to be able to trade with that. But my hyper armor had not kicked in yet. So bad on me. Where are you going, champ? Oh, okay, he's just switching some gear around. Okay, that time I was able to trade. GG. Whew. Yeah.
Alright, and I'm back. Back in post. So, here we have our first opponent here, Mr. Scytheman, who's being very polite and letting us buff infinitely, because I use a lot of different buffs on this character. So, this battle is actually a pretty good one. Has a lot to do with reading. So I went for a running attack there, so he pulls out his buckler. So I know if I run at him, he's going to parry. So I've got that in mind. Fire a couple bolts at him just to be safe. Know he's going for the parry, so I just walk around him for the backstab. Good read on my part. Not poor playing on his, just a good read on mine. As you can tell, I'm terrible with a crossbow. My aim is awful. I use lock-on quite a bit because my free aim is garbage. So now there, he's going to have learned something, but I noticed that he learned it. And that's that I typically reload my crossbow immediately after using it. So this time he thinks he's going to come in and get free damage while I'm reloading, but I anticipate it and give him the R1's end of the line, as it were. GG. All right, so here we're going to see my infinite buffs again, although I'm not actually going to do as many. So typically I do Tears of Denial, Green Blossom, and buff the weapon depending on the weapon. But it depends on how much time I have and how patient people are. I don't blame them for not wanting me to get through all of it, to be honest. So he's using the Wolf Knight sword, and I'm rocking the Karthus curved sword. Yep, that's right. Rocking the Pontiff Knight curved sword for funsies. It's a very good weapon. Gets a lot of shit because it's like the try-hard standard at this point, but it is very good. So, there was that one. Just, you know, got a bit lucky and a bit skilled. Bit of both, but GG. So now we've got a champ using the Exile Greatsword, which is an interesting weapon. It's slow and easy to avoid, but look at that damage. Look at that damage. 2 R1s and a blocked running attack, and I'm in kill range. So I'm in a lot of trouble. He does a good job there of weapon arting right through my R1, because I would have interrupted one of his R1s. But because he went for the weapon art, he had more hyper armor. So GG. That's a weapon that you really can't make mistakes against, or you're going to die. I ran into that guy, I think, 2 or 3 times, and he beat me every time. It's a rough weapon in the hands of someone who knows how to use it. Not that I didn't make mistakes, because I made plenty, but you know what I mean. So, into the next one here. We have an Ultra using Pyromancer, which is an interesting combo. So, because of the Ultra, I've pulled out the Black Knight Shield, or kept it out at least. Because I do not want to take those to the face, and I don't really want to risk rolling if I'm in a bad position, timing-wise. So, now I've pulled out the crossbow, and you can see my terrible aim some more. On the bright side, though, even though my aim is pretty bad with the crossbow, just seeing it makes a lot of people nervous because of how many tryhards there are that are good with offhand crossbows. So it's still effective, even though I can't use it well. So he's using his pyros, I imagine, as a bait to draw me into the Ultra, which is smart, and I bet works on a lot of players, but I'm a bit too cautious for that. So here I'm expecting the rolling attack. When he didn't do it, I went for my own, and that's when he decided to go for it. So he got a good slap on me there. Got him as he went off the edge, and he sadly plummeted to his death. GG. Alright, this is going to be the last match for today. It's a short one. I'm not really used to Arena, and I don't really do it very often, so I didn't have too many clips to work with. In the future, I'm going to try to go with, probably a standard of 10, and include losses and wins and all that stuff. So that's probably what I'll do in the future, but this time it's going to be a bit shorter. And also, not all the clips are in here because I saved them for a different video that's going to get me in a lot of trouble. So, anyhow, this will be the last one for the day. We got a Pyro with a straight sword. Pretty decent build setup here. He did a great job there of luring me into a trade with Black Flame. I thought he was going to R1 at me, and instead he Black Flamed, which went from making it a trade in my favor to definitely a trade in his favor. There's that outstanding phantom range of the Pontiff Knightsword at work. So now I've pulled out the crossbow, and look at just how he panic rolls. That's just what everybody does. They get so frightened by the sight of the crossbow. If they're not a tryhard themselves. So, like I said, effective even if you don't know how to use it, like me. Now, he catches me with a couple hits there. Well timed on his part. Here I get stuck in the bomb throwing animation, sadly, but now we're both in kill range, except I have Tears of Denial. So I want to trade with this guy. I want to lure him into a trade, and boom, that's what I do. Because I know that I can survive it with the Tears, and he cannot. GG. That was a really good one. All the fights were good, but that one was quite a teeth clencher. So anyway, that's it for today. Hope y'all enjoyed, and thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that random crap if you so choose. And more importantly, have a wonderful, wonderful day. See y'all real soon.